We're talking about probably the most horrible scandal and scam ever perpetrated, not only in the name of science, but in humanity and in all history. The great lie of Hitler. It's amazing. I think he would envy the job being done by members of the National Institutes of Health and even the media, especially in this country. And I will put the lie to the individuals of the NIH, particularly Gallo and Fauci and Hazeltine and Essex, and the rest of these scoundrels of the worst order. Criminals guilty of genocide, without a doubt. I invite them to take me to court. I wish Burroughs Wellcome would take me to court, because they have been putting out a killer drug knowingly.
They took the bar! The whole fucking bar! Thanks. I needed that.
President Biden, this just came across, just issues new pardons for Dr. Anthony Fauci. You could call these preemptive pardons. Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired four-star general Mark Milley. This just happened moments ago. It also includes the members of Congress and staff who served on the Select Committee and the U.S. Capitol, and D.C. Metropolitan Police officers who testified before the Select Committee. This as Trump prepares to take the oath of office in just a few hours.
Would that include Liz Cheney?
So
what
it's
a mess.
No, it doesn't. I guess, yeah.
Committee?
Yeah, Select Committee.
The whole select.
But what does it say? Mark Milley, who is chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under both Biden and Trump, you know that 100%. What he's done in the past. You know that he was calling China, trying to putting down President Trump.
I mean, what are they afraid that Pete Hegseth is going to see when he goes to the Defense Department and look at the files and data? There's been no talk of going after Anthony Fauci.
Well, Rand Paul is.
There may have been some senators, but the president himself has not said he wants to prosecute Anthony Fauci.
Absolutely right. And here's the thing. You pardon somebody who's been convicted.
Right.
They haven't been convicted.
Confession.
They haven't been charged.
Right.
This is crazy. It will be interesting to read the exact language, and because it just broke, we haven't seen it yet. But remember, when Hunter Biden was pardoned by his father, the language was extraordinary because it essentially... We know some things happened during certain time periods, but this was a 10-year window. Anything he did during those 10 years was essentially it was a get out of jail free card. So it'll be interesting to see the language, the perimeters of what time we're talking about, and what it talks about. What he has pardoned them from.
His brother wasn't on that list.
Incredible.
He has 4.5 hours to pardon his brother.
Not yet.
I know that's going to get done. Yeah. Absolutely. By the way, the 51 Intel agents who said that laptop was fake, I believe one of the executive orders is going to rescind their security clearance.
Security clearance away. But it's just so interesting to me that this is occurring right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, what
has that ever happened?
4 hours away
from
the presidency?
But Lawrence,
you see Maria landing right behind us.
Has it ever happened before that a preemptive pardon was pushed? A preemptive pardon. Just in case I do something or you find something, you can't do that.
Pluto! Hey, I think you know everybody here.
Greg, really, can't you...
Oh, no, don't worry. Just keep your hands and feet away from his mouth.
Don't you have any respect for yourself?
This is absolutely gross. That boy is a P.I.G. pig.
See if you can guess what I am now. I'm a zit. Get it? All right, you bastard. Let's go right here. Yeah! Come on, Fergie! Come on!
On January 9th, 2024, Dr. Anthony Fauci admitted during congressional testimony that the 6-foot social distancing mandate, quote, sort of just appeared, end quote.
Dr. Anthony Fauci now admitting social distancing wasn't based on science. Fauci telling a House committee this week the idea, standing 6 feet apart, quote, just sort of appeared. The shocking admission comes nearly 4 years after statements like this.
Every aspect of that ending the COVID outbreak in 30 days has some aspect of it of physical separation, whether that's avoiding crowds, whether that's staying 6 feet away from people, whether that's doing teleworking, all of it does that.
Dr. Fauci also forced Americans to wear masks after admitting that they don't work.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
And remember when he said that the COVID vaccine would stop you from getting infected?
The situation is so clear, the data affirm. If you get vaccinated, you are protected, even with the Delta variant.
And while voices of dissent were silent, a Republican president and a Democratic president and their political parties and their members of Congress made the same choice to hand the keys of our nation over to Dr. Fauci. Then they stood by and watched as he destroyed our schools, our churches, our businesses, and our economy. Under their watch, we ended up having the highest death rate from COVID in the world. Throughout the pandemic, I was posting scientific evidence and warning that Dr. Fauci was wrong about many of these issues. And to silence that criticism, government officials and their allies in the media branded me as a conspiracy theorist and deplatformed me and heavily censored me both in the mainstream and social media.
This week, some of the biggest names in the anti-vax movement descended on D.C. for a rally to protest vaccine mandates.
And now Dr. Fauci is finally admitting that the Wuhan lab leak is not, after all, a conspiracy theory.
The most likely origin is a jumping of species. I still do think it is, at the same time as I'm keeping an open mind that it might be a lab leak.
Of course, I already knew this because I literally wrote the book on this incident. So the next time
I gave my love a cherry that had no stone. I gave my love a chicken that had no bones. I gave my love a story that had no end. I give...
Sorry. I don't know how many times I can say it, Madam Chair. We did not fund gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
In our health lead, we now know that a bat coronavirus was enhanced in a lab.
NIH and NIAID categorically has not funded gain-of-function research to be conducted in the Wuhan Institute.
The National Institutes of Health acknowledged that it funded research of a virus that was studied at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The experiment unexpectedly, we're told, made a bat coronavirus more contagious than the original naturally occurring one.
Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement.
A new letter raising questions about experiments in a Wuhan lab.
Let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans.
Right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about.
For years, the National Institutes of Health provided grant money to the EcoHealth Alliance Research Group, which conducted experiments with bat coronaviruses in Wuhan, China.
And if anybody is lying here, Senator, it is you. That's where you are getting. Let me finish.
We don't know.
Well, wait a minute.
It did come from the lab, but all the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab, and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself.
National Institute of Health admitted this week that it funded controversial gain-of-function research using coronaviruses at a lab in China at the epicenter of the pandemic, contradicting claims from Dr. Anthony Fauci that American tax dollars never paid for that kind of research.
I have not lied before Congress. I have never lied, certainly not before Congress. Case closed.
Hey! What's this lying around shit?
Well, what the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
War's over, man. Wormer dropped the big one.
What? Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go! Come on! Ah! What the fuck happened to the Delta I used to know? Where's the spirit? Where's the guts? Huh? This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst. Oh, we're afraid to go with you, Pluto. We might get in trouble. Well, just kiss my ass from now on! Not me! I'm not gonna take this! Wormer, he's a dead man! Marmalade, dead! Niedermeyer!
Dead! Pluto's right. Psychotic, but absolutely right. We gotta take these bastards. Now, we could fight them with conventional weapons. That could take years and cost millions of lives. No, in this case, I think we have to go all out. I think this situation absolutely requires a really futile and stupid gesture be done on somebody's part.
We're just the guys to do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it!
You know, the thing that people don't in this country understand is that the Ukrainian military is selling about half of the arms they get from the United States into international black markets, and they're winding up in some cases with the drug cartels in Latin America. That's a fact. Okay, it's a fact, and you can buy them. And I spoke to someone who did buy some actually, so I know this is a fact, and they're bragging about it. So they're selling conventional weapons, including weapon systems that are very dangerous and very destabilizing, that would make commercial air travel impossible, for example. And so, what are they doing with the pathogens in those biolabs? And does the Biden administration have a manifest? Do they know exactly what's in those labs? And will they turn it over to the Trump administration so we can keep track of these things? And the answer is no, actually. The answer is no. I know this.
Wow. So
that's like the scariest thing that's ever happened. I think the Ukraine war has the potential to destabilize the world more than anything that's happened in my lifetime. What the hell? So that's why I'm saying this right now, because I hope this is widely disseminated, because I think it's like the scariest thing I've heard in a long, long time.
That would be hard to say, sir. They're each outstanding in their own way. And
cut the horseshit, son. I got their disciplinary files right here. Who dumped a whole truckload of fizzies into the swim meet? Who delivered the medical school cadavers to the alumni dinner?
Delta's already on probation.
They are?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Then, as of this moment, they're on double secret probation. The time has come for someone to put his foot down. And that foot is me.